A series of jabs, he follows it up with a 1-2. Valdovinos answers back, but an overhand there by Giovannie Gonzalez. Both fighters now trading. Big punches being landed here on the phone booth on the inside. Uppercuts, hooks, everything that you can want. Valdovinos responding. What a barn burner so far here, round number 3. Action picking up.
Hey, what gym are you guys at? That's a nice gym.
Fitness Plus in Oakdale, California. It's owned by Brian Chang, former bodybuilder, and he fought back in the days with I'm trying to remember the guy that was up in Northern California, but Dick Sadler. He was under Dick Sadler. So yeah,
is it strength and conditioning day?
Yeah. Yes.
Nice. How's camp going?
Camp is going great, bro. It's one of the best camps because, we got Easy right here helping me out with strength conditioning. We got Chino, ESBC doing the boxing. So I'm in great shape. Nice.
Let's talk about Toscano was it's a brand. You and your relationship as far as being a signed fighter with Toscano is relatively new. So talk about how that came about.
They saw my fight back in, they've known who I was. I've known them. We had our first fight together back in August of last year. And then after that, I fought on your guys' show in San Diego. They saw that one, and they saw me fight in Tijuana. I fought some 6-0 guy and knocked him out. And then that's when they were very interested. Easy actually was the one that reached out to me, and we spoke. And then I did the commentating with you guys. Yeah. Everything just kind of puzzled together, and here we are.
Nice. Israel, what did you guys see in Giovannie to make you guys want to sign him?
Giovannie, he has a lot of heart, a lot of heart and potential, and I can see that. Like they say, it's a diamond in the rough, and hopefully we've cleaned up a lot of those edges, and we're going to move forward. I mean, that's what I saw. The heart was mainly the heart and the ability. Now that I've seen him more in training camp, and I believe that we just turned the corner last week, and he looks dynamite.
Yeah. So then, is that something that you've added to were you doing strength and conditioning training prior to signing with Toscano? Is that something that Toscano's added to your?
I was, but honestly, I wasn't doing it as much. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't. That was some of an issue that they also pointed out, and I knew myself, but it's just you need somebody to kind of help you out. They added this strength conditioning on a every other day, pretty much weekly basis. So it's like it's consistency. You're doing it every other day. So I'm in better shape now. My wind is better. I feel great.
What differences have you noticed in? I mean, obviously this is all new for you, so you're ready to take it into the ring. But what differences have you noticed physically when it comes to sparring and just doing all the boxing side of it? What difference has that made in your boxing?
I feel like I have more power. I can. I just feel like my punches are more heavier, more stronger. My wind is there. It's better, but it's honestly what I have noticed is my power. It's just my overhand right, just like on point, because my stamina's not dropping. It's staying where it's supposed to when it comes to throwing a power shot.
And were you able to keep training through the COVID? How did it work up? Because I know that we were all set for the Stockton show in March, and we were all bummed when that didn't happen. I mean, we were a week out? We were a week out.
Yeah, a week out, yeah.
So did you take some time off, or did you just get right back to the gym?
Honestly, I did take some time off because at first nobody knew exactly what was going on, if it was legit or not legit. But there's, I have 2 kids, so it was kind of, I didn't want to risk that. So I kind of just stayed at my house. I actually, I tell a lot of my friends before all this, I've never played no PlayStation or Xbox or anything, bro. But now I'm on that shit all the time. I'm on that war zone, you know what I mean? So I went to go, I bought them, I went to the Best Buy. Literally the day right before they closed everything, I bought them a Nintendo Switch. I was walking out and I saw PS4. I said, you know what, I'm going to buy one too. I bought one, and then, now
you're hooked?
Yeah. Nah, I'm hooked, bro. I'm hooked. Matter of fact, right before we got on this, my boys were on a group text. Where you at? Where you at, bro? I'm at work. I'm training right now. You know what I mean? But it's I took a couple of weeks off. I would say probably like 3 weeks off. I just it was good though. Good for the body.
Yeah.
Not getting hit, not running, not being sore. But it's hard getting back the first couple of weeks. Coming back with easy. That's where I started. It was extremely hard, to be honest with you, because my body was like, what are you doing? You were just comfortable, and that's what happens when you get too comfortable. But, you push through it, and I'm good. I'm good to go. I'm in shape now.
Now, did you have to start training outside the gym? Because I know in California, it was pretty strict as far as what you guys, like the gyms were all shut down. How did you get your training in?
I mean,
well, I'll interject on this. So in California, if you're a gym like I guess it would be your chains of gyms, those are completely different. This is a club. It's a fitness club, strength and conditioning. Brian Chang and his wife, they were bodybuilders. And so, I mean, Miss Olympia, his wife, and it just Corinne. And so it's a private club.
Yeah.
So you have to be a member of this private club. So we're able to come in like a week early. But believe you me, Brian's always been a clean guy just in general.
Yeah.
So like Brian on times 10, everything's wiped down, clean. Anything you touch, you got to wipe, and masks and whatnot. We're not wearing a mask right now, but we're required to have masks and whatnot and gloves. So it was tough at first, but we muscled through it.
Well, you guys are lucky that you had that, because I saw there's, looking at everybody's social media posts, there's a lot of fighters who are just training in their garage or, just getting it in wherever they could. Definitely an odd time in the sports world. I mean, just an odd time in general, right? But just an odd time in the sports world that you couldn't go to a facility and train and actually get in what you needed to. And you're actually one of the lucky ones that got the opportunity to actually go to a facility designed to train, right?
Yeah,
so when did they let you know about the title shot for this upcoming fight?
I'm not exactly sure, but it was about 7-8 weeks ago, I would say.
Yeah.
He called me about it. Well, Easy and George, my promoter, Toscano, called me about it, presented it. I spoke to my team about it, and they said that it's a good opportunity. It's a tough fight, but a good opportunity. And we took it. We're ready to go. So, you just obviously we got to train hard for it.
Obviously, the main goal for any fighter is to be a world champion, but you have to start off with these international belts and things like that. So, So taking that next step, how does that feel emotionally to be able to take a step up?
It's a great opportunity, because growing up, I would always be back in the day, it was MySpace, so I would have Eric Morales Pacquiao video on my page, and I would always say, I want to fight like them, I want to be a professional fighter like them, and this and that. But it was hard though, I at the time I was like 13, 14. I didn't know exactly what it took to be a fighter of that caliber. Now, I'm not saying I'm there. I'm not there yet, but I'm going towards that direction with the proper promotion, with the right team. But a step like this for this belt, it's big. Now, it's not an easy fight. My last opponent was undefeated, and this opponent is also undefeated. So this is back-to-back undefeated fighters. So you can't sit there and say I'm cherry-picking fighters, because I'm just whoever you throw at me. You look at my resume, I pretty much I'll fight whoever. But early in my career, I wasn't with a proper team that took me to the next level, and now I believe I am. I know I am. It's just, I just gotta trust my team and be patient and trust the process.
Well, that speaks to Toscano and wanting to help build you. And Israel, I'll ask you about this. The WBF title, where did that come from? When did you guys decide that? How did you guys come to the decision that you guys wanted to put Giovannie in a title shot?
It's a little bit bigger than most. Long story, but I'll condense it. We saw the Giovannie fight against Valdovinos, and obviously we didn't agree with the decision. I saw mass potential in Giovannie, barring a little bit of cardio that we saw that we need to fix. And me being a busybody when it comes to that, I said, if we get him, this is what I would like to do. I'd like to train him. I want to get him up there. And then we watched the Pinto fight versus the undefeated fighter he just fought last. And the guy, he went in there, lost his title. He was undefeated. He was a prospect. He was coming up. So much so that he lost his title. Then they gave him another shot, and he has the Continental America. He has the USA title now.
Oh, okay.
In the same weight class. But the WBF, when we saw that, we just put 2 and 2 together. I said, you know what? Giovanni's at that time right now in his life. He's a veteran. He's got great experience in the ring, and we felt that this would be a great fight for him. And for the promotion company, Toscano, we try to do the best quality fights with quality fighters. And, again, it's for the fan, and we all start off as fans and we wind up in the business. But, we want to see good fights, and this is what we're going with. And we felt that this is going to be a great fight for Giovannie and, again, for the promotion to move forward.
Nice. Yeah, to Toscano's credit, I don't know if you've checked out the first fight that we did with you guys on Fight Hub. A lot of the comments were about the quality of the fights, and so that's obviously encouraging. That's something that we had discussed prior to the fact that you guys wanted to do nothing but quality fights, and the fact that the fans noticed that. I think one fan mentioned, he's like, "This is what boxing should look like before boxers get big," meaning that the fighters, that the fights that you guys are putting on is what people want to see, but often don't get to see because, the bigger fighters for the bigger paydays are a little bit cherry picking. I don't know if you guys watched the fights this week on ESPN.
Yeah.
They're
horrible.
Yeah.
Say no more. Say no more.
The first fight's back since what? March, and we get crap fights. So the fact that you guys are going out of your way to make sure that the fans are going to get quality fights, that's encouraging. And then also having title shots on the card. So the fact that it means something more to the fighters to be like, hey, I'm stepping up. I got to step up my game. I'm my first title shot, and making that happen is definitely something that's encouraging. And I look forward to being able to do more. And then, not to look past this, but I would love to just to throw this out there. I want to see you and Valdivinos rematch. Everyone wants to see it. There's a couple comments this week. I get emails when people comment on the fight, and a lot of people keep on saying you won the fight in the comments section. And I would love to see that in Stockton.
Yeah, it would be a great fight. Yeah, the people would like it. Like I said, I'll fight whoever. It just comes down to if it makes sense. Yeah. But at the same time, I can't look past my current opponent. He just beat an undefeated fighter from LA. He's actually he's a throwback Mexican fighter. He beat 2 United States fighters, one being undefeated that has a lot of money behind him.
Yeah,
dropped 5 times, and now I'm going to fight him. So, this is no walk in the park. It's going to be a tough fight, but we've trained hard for this type of fight. Once we take care of business, then, Valdivino wants to get whooped again, we'll do it again.
Nice.
You hear that,
Raul? So what's a little different, or a lot different actually, about this fight is that it's close to the public. The only people that can be there are those on the team and production and the commission. How do you feel about fighting in a closed environment? Like it's completely different. Part of being a boxer is wanting to step up and hear the crowd, but does it matter? Does it matter?
It doesn't matter. It's just I can't really answer that too accurately right now, because I've never actually experienced, fighting in front of cameras with no crowd. But it might be even, they say there's the A side and the B side, and the whole reason to that is because the B side is coming into the A side's backyard, and you have this crowd taunting the fighter and all this other crap. But now it's more even, I think. Now it's just you and the fighter and the trainer, and cameras or no cameras, but it's more like I wouldn't call it a sparring session because you got 8-ounce gloves and no headgear, but you have, you know, two fighters going at it, and you don't have to worry about, you know, the crowd. Now, sometimes the crowd energizes you when you're in trouble, whatever the case. I don't know what kind of environment it's going to be because, you know, I have to experience it, but it's going to be odd. It's going to be weird, but you know, at the end of the day, it's just me and him. And I just got to take care of business and go to work.
That's true. That's true. And then you know, one of the interesting things about the watching no audience on television is that you can hear the trainers giving instructions. So as a fighter, does that, you know, because when there's a lot of noise, sometimes you're not going to be able to hear the trainer or even pay attention because you're focusing on the fighter in front of you. But being able to hear the trainer clearly now, does that help you? Does it matter to you?
See, now it does and it doesn't, because and then you can also hear his trainer and he can hear my trainer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, you know, I don't know if you know English, but I know Spanish. So I can understand what they're saying, but I don't know if they can understand what my trainer's saying. Yeah. So this type of situation, we might have the advantage just because of language barriers. But sometimes even when your trainer's telling you to do something, you're in there, and sometimes you don't do it because you see something that your trainer doesn't see because you're the one in there.
They don't listen.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it goes both ways. You know, it's boxing. You know, it's hard. It's you have to stick with the game plan. And if the game plan doesn't work, you have to adjust. So it all depends how everything goes.
Yeah. And then speaking of adjustments, and Israel, you may be able to answer this. What are the protocols as far as the Tijuana Commission goes for the fighters during fight week? I mean, are you guys under lockdown? Are you going to be tested? How is that all coming about?
We went over them last week. We kind of adjusted and made a list, if you would, and then we met with the commission of Tijuana. And they just got yesterday. We finished everything, as you know. As a matter of fact, as we speak, they're in a meeting right now, finalizing, putting the stamp on the protocols. You know, and again, safety is almost is what we want for the fighters and everybody involved. So that's what's just getting ironed out. They have the protocols in place, and you'll have them by the close of business today. You know, because I know people are concerned about that. But yeah, again, safety is the most important, and we're going to do what's best for the fighters and for everybody involved. But yeah, the protocol will be in, and it's a pretty strict protocol.
Nice. That's good. I mean, that's so that we're all safe. I
we're in a new world.
Yeah. I would definitely love to circle around back with you and Jorge when you guys get all those, and we'll do another call and go over all that. So not only
Monday evening.
Yeah, exactly. I'm down with that to talk. Giovannie, as far as fight week coming up, I know obviously it's going to be a little different. You guys are going to be a little more cautious. Does any of that play into mind, or are you getting focused and all you care about is getting in that ring?
I'm just going to go in there and go to work. I'm not too, you know, we're just going to, for me personally, I'm just ready to go. You know what I mean? Yeah, you have the precautions and everything, but I trust my promoter. I trust my team. I trust myself that I got to take precautions, and you know, just wait around and just go to war.
Nice. I have one more question when it comes back to the training. I know when you take on a physical trainer, you know, obviously there's different aspects of training that have been added. Is there anything specific that you're working on in terms of your own game in camp now that Toscano's come on board? Maybe Israel, have you seen something that you guys want to work on to improve on? What are you working on in terms of your own boxing game to improve and move forward in terms of your own skill set? Is there anything particular that you guys are working on?
Yeah, it's all a pattern, you know. In order to be able to do certain things in boxing, you got to be in shape and you got to be in top shape. before I signed with Toscano, I was able to do a lot, but then there was a couple times where I was gassing out. So what they added to my game is strength and conditioning and added more wind. With that extra wind that I'm getting, I'm able to perfect my jab a lot more, box more. And then, like I said, sit down on my overhand rights and more power behind. And that's what I've honestly felt more of more straight jabs, counter punching, head movement. It's a lot of small little things. It's very hard to do all that in training camp because you're not used to it. So your mind is thinking when you're sparring, and you're sometimes getting tired more because you're trying to do everything. So it's more tiring of the body, but it's all going to come together. And, that's why there's a training camp. That's why you have sparring, because you want to do any mistakes in training camp. That way they're fixed and you're ready to go by fight day. Nice.
So you're finding that those little nuances are improving because of your conditioning, and it's becoming more of a habit versus you thinking about it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. It's more of a muscle type thing, memory, where if somebody does something, I'll just throw the jab or counter them. I can see things better because I'm not so tired. Yeah. And that all comes down to the strength conditioning. I'm able to do things more better, kind of combinations, jabs, everything.
As far as sparring goes, who are some of the guys you've been sparring with?
Andy Vences, my boy Alex from here from Northern California. Zach, he's a tremendous amateur.
Remember that kid?
He has one of the best jabs that I've ever. One of the best jabs in boxing that I've any fighter I've fought, pro and amateur. There's a lot of different fighters that I've sparred. I can't just think off the top of my head. It's felt like a long training camp, honestly, because it's just of all this going on, and then just like one day, all right, get to it. It's just like I don't even remember when training camp started, but it's been a long time ago. You know what I mean? But I've just been going at it, so it's just like it's been really, really, really good training.
Definitely different.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's crazy times, and it feels good to be getting back to some type of normalcy where we can actually start doing shows again. Okay, so the particulars about the fight, we go at 7 p.m. on June 26th on Friday. We'll have the weigh-in on Thursday the 25th. Do you know what time the weigh-in is?
Again, they're finishing up everything today. Initially, we were going to do it in front of the highlight of the event center, and then we said, you know what? Why are we going to spread ourselves out? I think we're going to have it at the Tecuan, where the fighters are going to be staying. They have an area in the back that's cordoned off, and as a matter of fact, we just bought 2 machines to disinfect everything and everybody. We bought 2 of them, so everybody has to walk through and get sprayed and disinfected. Yeah, I mean, again, the precautions we're taking, it's for everyone, and we're doing to the top quality stuff because we're setting the tone. We're the first fight in Tijuana after this COVID. We're post-COVID now, so we have to set the standard for a good standard for everybody else to follow. And again, for the safety of the fighter and for the safety of all of us involved, because this is what we do, and we don't want to fall back into what we just went through. It was horrible. Yeah. But again, so that's what we're doing.
Great. That's great. Okay. So then, Giovannie, tell everybody where they can follow you online.
Instagram, pretty much. King Gio 1 at the end. King Gio 1 on Twitter. Same exact name, King Gio 1. And that's pretty much it right there.
Israel, where can they follow you?
Don't follow me. Follow the fighters.
Okay.
Go to Toscano Boxing. What's that?
I was going to say, well, where can they follow Toscano?
Toscano Boxing Promotions on Instagram and Facebook, obviously. I'm at Osmosis 68. I'm always just posting stuff about boxing. Again, we're here for the young guys. And like I was going to tell you, also, we'll be releasing small videos and all the information, pertinent information. You'll get that in an email form, and as well as we're going to do videos on it. Because a lot of the fighters are, what do we expect? And it's hard to communicate with them, but everybody communicates through a video. If you put a video out there that you farted, everybody knows about it. It's like that. So we'll be releasing information that way. It's a lot easier. And again, like you said, we're going to be on 7 different platforms, and I'm excited about that. I've been, a lot of my local businesses here in town that have TVs are going to be broadcasting it. They just want to make sure that it's going to be on whatever it's going to be on, so they can broadcast it. So it was something new, and I'm looking forward to the show. We'll talk about that more later, but it's going to be a show to add to it. Without the crowd, we got to add something,
Yeah, definitely. I love it. Well, I appreciate your time, guys. I know you guys are busy training. Look forward to seeing you guys both in person during fight week and reconnecting. So thanks again for the time.
All right, God bless.
Thank you.
All right. Take it easy.
Take care. Bye.
Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, bro. Thank you, man. Take care. I'll see you soon.
Okay. Yeah.
Bye.
See you soon.